I sat at the long wooden table in my in-laws' dining room, the rich aroma of freshly cooked biryani and roasted chicken hanging in the air. My wife, say, was laughing with her mother, her head tilted back in that dramatic way she always had when telling one of her exaggerated stories. Across from me, her father poured me a glass of water, insisting I eat more. Everything felt warm, normal, almost too perfect, until my phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out, expecting a work email or maybe a casual text from a friend. Instead, it was a message from an unknown number. Don't react. They're recording you. My pulse spiked instantly. I glanced around the room, trying not to appear alarmed. That's when I noticed Sa's brother, Imran. He was holding his phone angled toward me, pretending to scroll, but the lens was aimed directly in my direction. I forced myself to stay calm, chewing slowly as though nothing had happened. But inside, the warning echoed louder and louder. Recording me. Why? My thoughts scrambled back to last week's argument with SA, her accusing me of not being serious about our marriage. We had patched things up, or so I believed. Could this be part of some twisted setup? I smiled at my father-in-law and asked politely for more rice, masking the suspicion that was growing inside me. My phone buzzed again. Don't look at me. Just excuse yourself and call this number. This isn't a prank. A chill ran down my spine. Whoever was texting me knew exactly what was happening at that table. My palms dampened with sweat. I pushed my chair back and excused myself, saying I needed the bathroom. SA glanced at me briefly, but kept chatting with her mother. As soon as I was out of sight, I dialed the number. A steady voice answered immediately. Listen carefully. Your in-laws are trying to provoke you into saying something that makes you look bad. Don't fall for it. Stay calm, smile, and agree with everything. I demanded to know who they were, but the voice ignored my question. You'll understand later. Just trust me. Then the line went dead. My head spun. Who would go out of their way to warn me? A friend? A stranger? Or maybe someone in SA's family who didn't agree with her plan. When I returned to the table, I noticed the tension more clearly. Imran's phone was now angled toward me with less effort to hide it. SA leaned toward me with a playful tone. So, do you still think I spend too much money? My stomach dropped. It was bait, and I knew it. Remembering the warning, I simply laughed. No, SA, I think you're perfect. Her smile froze for a second. Imran's thumb hesitated on the screen. They hadn't expected that response. SA tried again, this time bringing up my late nights at work. I kept my answers light, cheerful, and harmless, dodging every trap they tried to set like pieces on a chessboard. The lunch ended awkwardly. SA's parents looked confused, maybe even disappointed. As we left, my phone buzzed once more. Well done. You passed. When I tried to reply, the number was suddenly unreachable. That night, SA was strangely quiet. I caught her glaring at her phone, scrolling furiously. When I asked if everything was okay, she muttered, "Never mind," and went to bed early. That was when I realized whoever had warned me had disrupted her entire plan. 2 days later, a mutual friend called. He had overheard SA and Imran bragging about trying to make me look abusive during that lunch, so she could use it as leverage in a divorce. But they admitted their frustration, because I had stayed too calm. My chest tightened, but alongside the sinking feeling came gratitude. That anonymous warning had saved me. From that point forward, I began preparing quietly. I gathered evidence of her financial mismanagement, her flirtations online, even her private messages to Imran about framing me. A month later, I filed for divorce, this time with everything in my favor. In court, when the screenshots and recordings I had collected were presented, the smug expressions on SA and Imran's faces dissolved. Their trap had collapsed in front of everyone. To this day, I never discovered who sent me that first text. Maybe it was her cousin who never liked her, or perhaps a friend of Imran's who thought the scheme was cruel. Whoever it was, they saved me from walking straight into a trap that could have destroyed my life. Now, every time my phone buzzes, I remember that moment at the lunch table. The fake smiles, the hidden cameras, and the single message that flipped everything upside down. Sometimes, one stranger's warning is enough to change the course of everything.